Hello everyone, my name is Kanyara Shankit. In this video clip, I'm going to tell you about everything I learned in this semester from the beginning to the end of this semester. I also learned 4 things by myself. They are vocabularies, reading, listening, and grammar. All of these I learned by myself from the books my teacher gave me. Vocabularies, I've learned a lot of vocabulary such as food, transportation, and many other categories. But the one that I have interested the most is the vocabulary about travel. In addition to listening, vocabulary also offers grammar practice. I learned about the grammatical completion of words, which was practiced by doing exercises at the end of each chapter, which made me develop myself into better. In reading, I'll read a lot of books from the files the teacher gave me. Reading the whole story allows me to practice my reading skills a lot better. I can read books that are more active in English from reading with the stock. Besides, the story read words very interesting. I don't bored because it's fun and interesting to keep the reading. In listening, I'll learn about departure in the book, which will also have audio to listen to. What I learned was to listen to abbreviated speech, which was very difficult to hear because each accent is different. The more words that use abbreviations, the more difficult it is. If you haven't studied much before, you might not understand at all. For example, what I've studied on my own is I've got to shake your teeth, where the word got to change to gotta, change from a written form to a spoken form to shorten it. In grammar, I learned about writing sentence and choosing correct grammatical words because each word and a sentence change over time. Therefore, when I write the wrong word incorrectly from by the time it occurs, it can make the whole sentence wrong, which is not very good. So I have to practice grammar very hard. It's what I'm not good at the most, but still have to practice. Next will be the practice of speaking. In this saying, I didn't practice by myself because it was a conversation, so it was necessary to practice with my classmate. I like to practice speaking because I like to act and tone like a native speaker, which is hard to do. But me and my friend never stop improving. We still practice speaking. In speaking, I always practice by doing exercises, which might be a bit difficult for me in the early stage of practicing the exercises is not that difficult, but by the middle of the day it's getting more difficult. But the hardest part for speaks is the listening part because the accent of the person speaking is an accent that's very difficult to hear. I listened to it many times before I could to do exercise, but in the end I did all the exercise. In the last part, it is studying in the classroom. 2 of my favorite parts are comic strip and conflict writing because both of them are using imagination to create a story like writing a manga and composing an interesting story by condensing the story. It's really important because it's a short story and there is also character and setting decoration, which is a lot of fun. And writing conflicts was a big challenge for me because I never wrote a story that long. But I was able to do it because I had a lot of experience watching movie. So I was able to write some stories. Most of the stories that I write are about the horror genre because it's so exciting that when I read them, it won't be bored for me. And video clips of my studies from the beginning of this semester until the end of this semester is over. Thank you for your interest. Thank you.